Microsoft Azure AI Studio. We will give you the chance to ask me anything you want to ask about the Microsoft Azure platform. And then I have a bonus. I have a tip for you. We try to do this in an hour. I have a tip for you, so stick and stay. Don't be too long. So if this sounds like something that's of interest to you, wait, give me a few minutes, and then we will be right back. Awesome. We are back. We are back. We are back. We're back. We're back. We're back. Where is that? You know, when you're trying to when you when you're trying to do something interesting, then tech decides to do a lot of crazy stuff with you. Um, so this is Friday, Demystify Tech with some. As you might know it, we try to demystify everything on technology specifically. But for some time now, most of the things I've been doing is concentrated on the Microsoft Azure ecosystem. So hey, welcome. Kojo has joined. You guys, I'm not streaming live on YouTube. Okay, I'm live on YouTube, but the content itself is not live on YouTube, right? The content itself is on my how do you call it? Is on my Facebook, on my YouTube, and also on my, I think, LinkedIn. So those are the places you can get it. If you're watching me on YouTube, you're not actually seeing that. We've not transitioning into showing the full thing on YouTube yet. Sorry, on Instagram. So on Instagram, all you're going to see probably, hello, Elliot just joined. Elliot just joined us. Welcome, Elliot. Thanks for joining the show. So today, what what are we talking about? I am trying to, let's see. I'm trying to, all right. So thank you for showing up today. We're going to be doing a couple of things. Today is 3-in-1. We're going to be talking about the Azure AI Studio, which is a unified environment for you to build all your AI large language modules. Use the open source version, build stuff on it, build your co-pilots, everything what you will think about. And then the second part is also an opportunity for you to ask me anything you want to know about technology, about Azure and all that. You can also ask me on the show. And the last part is a bonus part. I know some people are going to be like, Sam, what's wrong with you? Why do you want to why do you want to do that? Well, it's nothing. Is not. There's no pun intended. All right. It's just to share some learning experiences that I have. I'm sure that is going to benefit a few people. So I've been trying to switch to my let's see here where this is. I've been trying to okay, so this, just a sec, let's see something here. I think that's it. Okay, so if you're watching me from Instagram right now, you would see that you're seeing the setup for my live stream. Okay, you can see a live view of my glasses because I'm using the Meta Ray-Ban and streaming from Instagram, and then at the same time also taking the video from my glasses to it. But that's not the focus of today's thing. We're going to be talking a lot about the AI Studio. So awesome. So I'm going to end the live on my Instagram so that we can focus on today's session. So before we get into it, let's give us a shout out. Let's know where you're watching us from, whether it's from Accra, YouTube, the US, LinkedIn, whatever that is, just let's know so we can, acknowledge you on the stream. So let me take this off for the meantime so that you can see my face very well. Um, Somebody will say that why are you wearing dark glasses in in the night in the studio? But that's just the finishing of it. All right, so let's first of all, as I do, let me be sure I have my confetti ready. I want to celebrate a few people on the show. Happy birthday to Bernard Wiafe, one of my front-end engineers at Afrologic Solutions. Happy birthday. Yesterday was your birthday, so that confetti is for you. Happy birthday. Um, let's see, another happy birthday in advance to Arnold. Tomorrow is your birthday, my IoT and firmware engineer. Tomorrow is a birthday. Happy birthday with that. And then I want us to also celebrate a good friend of mine. Let's celebrate Sarah. You're now the co-chairperson for the Impact Technology Champions at what we call the Global Initiative to End Wildlife Crime. Congratulations, Sarah. Big ups to you. I know that you love a lot of stuff for wildlife conservation and the technologies around it. She's part of people who worked on Project 15. So big shout out to you. Now, with all those celebrations and shout out of the way, let's get into today's meet. So, what are we talking about? Today, we're talking about the Azure AI Studio. Let's go to the desk. Let me share with you. So, today we're going to be talking about the Azure AI Studio and what is the Azure AI Studio? Basically, the Azure AI Studio is just a unified platform where you can develop, deploy, or your custom Copilot AI in a safe, secure, and responsible way. Ellie Gleam, nice to see you. Sound is a bit low through. Okay, though. Okay, let's see. Is it better now, guys? I think. Let me know if the sound is if the sound is okay. Where you are connecting with me from. I know that there is a little. I was using some plugin that was cutting off the noise and stuff like that. So I want to believe that. So Ellie Clean, please give me a thumbs up or something. Let me know if it's if the sound is back. Right. Thank you very much. So the Azure AI Studio is part of the awesome. Okay, so awesome. Thank you very much. So it's part of the Microsoft suite of products on the cloud. That is a unified space for you to develop, deploy, and also customize your Copilot, right? And this awesome. Thank you very much, Ellie Klim. And what this allows you to do also gives you the environment to work in it in a safe, secure, and a more responsive way if you're working on it. Now the good thing is that it allows you to also explore all the cutting edge modules. You can start working using the Azure OpenAI modules. You can also work in code with any SDKs as you want. There are a couple of them. So today is basically just more or less like a welcome back to the stream, and then I'm just sharing these things. But subsequently, we're going to be talking just like I was doing a series on the Azure App Services. The last episode was how to add custom domains. We saw how to do that. So we're moving to the Azure AI Studio as another Azure service, and then we'll do series of episodes on how to get started, build your own Copilot, use large language modules, build stuff like that. So that is going to be the series of episodes we'll be doing on the show. So if you've not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, watch all the episodes, and then if you have any questions, you can drop it. Like I mentioned, today's episode is also to ask questions about the Azure technology. So feel free. If you have any questions, drop it in the chat wherever you're watching us from, and I'll pause to answer it as we move on. And then at the end of the stream, I will try to share with you a bonus tip. I know it's a satiric thing, but please, it's just we need to release some pressure at some point in time. So back to Azure. So here, this is the environment. So you can go to ai.azure.com as I have right here. And this takes you to the AI Studio. And whilst here, now you need an Azure account to be able to do this. And if you don't know how to do that, please go watch most of my previous episodes. I've shared how to do this a number of times, a lot of times. I've shared how to do this on the show, so you can learn how to do that as well. So once you get into it, straight up, you can see, sorry guys, you can see, you can get started with the Azure AI. This is just getting started stuff. I can open this on the side. One of the good things is that Microsoft has also unified all the learning materials and resources into the Learn platform, so you can get everything in there. You can build assistant, you can build APIs. You can experiment with prompts. There's a playground where you can, play around, test all these things out. You can deploy large language modules, Llama, GPT-4.0, all these things, and test them out. Now, there are a lot of, like I mentioned, a lot of modules, from Microsoft. There's a new 5.3, OpenAI, all the, you can see the modules are there, GPT-4.0, GPT-4, DALI, and all that. There's also Nixla. I know there's Llama also there. And obviously, you can add them, infuse them with all the other Microsoft AI services. So when we talk about all the other Microsoft AI services, from speech, language translation, vision, document, content safety, you can integrate all these things into, your AI modules as well. So pretty much, let's see a quick walkthrough, of how to use it. And then we'll come back and I'll walk away. Hey, Cliff. Welcome, watching live. Thank you so much, Cliff, for joining us. Like I said, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop your questions. So let's quickly watch this video, and then
welcome to Azure AI Studio,
let me know if you can,
the place to build and deploy your generative AI apps at scale.
Let's pause this. And actually, let's go watch it here so that I can make it big. And let me know if
welcome to Azure AI Studio, the place to build and deploy your generative AI apps at scale.
Give it a sec. Okay. Well, this is strange. Okay, let's do this.
Explore out of the box and
give me a sec. I think I need to. There we go. All right. So I'm going to share. I'm going to go back into the full.
Welcome to Azure
mode, and let me know if you can get the sound. So let's do this.
Welcome to Azure AI Studio, the place to build and deploy your generative AI apps at scale. Explore out-of-the-box and customizable APIs. In the model catalog, access cutting-edge models from Microsoft, Meta, Mistral, Hugging Face, OpenAI, Cohere, and more. Use model benchmarking to identify the best model for your use case and needs. Customize models with advanced fine-tuning, and ground your models on your secure data using retrieval augmented generation. Craft your workflows with flexible orchestration tools. With tracing and debugging, monitor each step of LLM flows, including latency, token usage, and model errors to quickly debug your app. Choose where and how you want to develop with code-first experiences and integrations with GitHub Codespaces, VS Code, LangChain, and Semantic Kernel. Measure and improve app performance with manual and automated evaluations. Azure AI Studio is equipped with built-in configurable content filters, responsible AI tools, and practices. Deploy at scale with continuous monitoring in production. And manage your app with Azure Enterprise Controls for security, privacy, and compliance. No matter what your generative AI application may be, you can build it here. Build with Azure AI Studio.
Awesome. So as you can see, that is just a quick run through of what the Azure AI Studio is, and what we will be, trying to achieve today, right? So like I said, let's go through the interface, and let's do this. So on the welcome page, this is what it looks like. And then you can go ahead. Let's take a look at the navigations on the left. I can go to model catalog, and this would share or show me all the model catalogs that are available. And you can also, it's very comprehensive. It's extremely comprehensive. So you should be able to, add up a lot of your stuff here. Let me see if I can move my, there you go, and make it a little, yeah, it looks like my, yeah, so now, okay, so we'll deal with that later on. Okay, so right now we have the Pi 3 serverless API. That's now there's GPT-4 0, there is Nextla, there is I'm trying to see if I can find the Llama 1. So that, yeah, so here we go, GPT-4 0, GPT-4 DALI, GPT 3.5 Turbo Da Vinci, the Microsoft Phi, there's the Llama from Meta, yeah, pretty much even, you know, the ones from Nvidia. Think about it, almost all the, you know, all the catalogs in terms of the models are here for you to leverage, so you can pretty much go experiment and try on that. Then there's a model benchmarking tool that allows you to literally see how the models compare to, you know, compare to each other. And then within this sphere as well, so you can see from OpenAI, Meta, Microsoft, you can see the model benchmark, right? All of them here showing, you know, the model accuracy and all. So you can pretty much play around with it. You can pick them up and see how they, you know, how you know, accurate and strong the models are. Then also there's also the Azure OpenAI, which includes Azure Services. So now it asks me to, let me actually log in. Let's see. Which one should I use? Which one should I use? Let's try this. I have too many. I have too many accounts. Just too many. The, you know, thanks for being an MCT, an MVP, and all that. So let's see. Let me get my MFA sorted out. Okay, there we go. Looks good. I'm using, okay, looks good. So I'm using this because let's quickly, let me do something here. Switching directories. Okay, so I use that account because I have I have approval. Let's say it looks like you don't have an active access in the directory as sphere. Yeah, that's because it's using a different directory. You know what? Let me see if I can switch directories. I'm going to switch directories to Demystify Tech. Yes, there's a subscription here, and I think this account has access to. Forgive me, but I have a lot of accounts. Else, I have another account which I know definitely has access to. Now, you know, yeah, on Tuesday I mentioned that for those that are interested in the Microsoft Azure for Startup project, there is actually access. You get access to most of the Microsoft OpenAI services as well. If you go with if you use the Azure, if you start with the Microsoft Startup, you should get access to it. So, model catalog, we've seen this already. We've seen the model benchmark here as well, and then let's see, yeah, so here you can have the prompt. So because I signed in, now I get access to the prompt catalog. Now prompt engineering is a whole dimension on its own, where, you know, people are trained to know to provide better prompts. So these are like sample prompts for travel assistance, social media post analysis, property listing video, real estate agent, insurance report, defect detector, Apple cycle analyst, personal marketing. So there are a lot of chatbots, generate blogs. So these are kind of like prompt catalogs, you know, prompts that have been generated. The good thing is that you can also, you know, create your own prompt or start your prompt engineering based off of these sample prompts. Then the Azure OpenAI, as you can see, I don't have any resources, but I can have the chat. I can go to the playground to go try it out. I can have the assistants playground. If I want to develop GPT powered AI assistants, I can leverage the assistants playground. Let me open that to the side. Let me open this also to the side for now. And then you can have the other AI services, which is the Microsoft speech, language, vision, and content safety. So speech analytics, there's Prompt Shield for generative AI. Now, one thing if you've been using AI in the Microsoft ecosystem, I might talk about that on Power Series on Sunday. But if you're using that ecosystem and when you use the AI to generate text, you need to include a compulsory approval step for a human to approve the generated content from the AI before your flow would work. I'll probably try to show that on Sunday on Power Series. So make it with me on Sunday. Let me show you how to do that. So primarily, this is everything in the Azure ecosystem or the AI Studio ecosystem, right? So we can create a project, determine which model you want to use, look at the prompt. Let's quickly look at, so here, this is OpenAI. If I want to, it open it in a new place. So let me actually go there. Azure AI, and then let's try the chat. Actually, we don't have any existing. Okay, let's go ahead. Let me create a project, right? And then let's call this, I'm going to call the project, let's call it Demystify Tech Demo. And because we don't have a hub, right? So a hub is associated with your Azure subscription, which will, if you use some of the services that are paid services, that's how you're going to get billed. So I don't think I have a hub created. So I'll just go ahead and create one. Let's call this Demystify Tech AI. Oh yeah, I know. Sorry about that. It takes only underscores. Okay. And guys, don't forget to drop your questions, right? Like I mentioned, it's also how do you call it? It's also an ask me anything. So I'll go ahead and use a startup subscription. Resource group. Let's create a resource group, right? What happened? Did it just run away from me? Oh no! Ah man, I hate this. Okay, let's do this. Let's call this Demystify Tech Demo. And let's create a hub. I wanted to call this the Demystify Tech AI subscription. We just use a startup app subscription. And the resource group RG Demystify. Yeah, I think we'll leave it that way. AI services, AI Demystifier. Yeah, we'll skip the connection to search for now. I don't want to connect it to Azure Search. So this creates all these things for me, and then we'll create the project. So it is validating. If you can't see that, let me show you this down here. It's validating the resource, and then it will create it. And once it reviews and everything is okay, we'll go ahead and click create a project, and the project will be created. So once we finish creating the project, we can now go ahead, whether we want to build a model, we want to do a prompt, we want to embed AI services, we should be able to do that with this. So just give it a bit. Well, whilst that's happening, what is your question for me pertaining to technology and also the Microsoft ecosystem? If you have any, you're free to share it with me. These are my socials. If maybe after the show you still want to connect with me, you can use any of this on my social to connect with me. Today I'll try as much as possible to stay within time. So these are my socials. It's still working. Like I said, today is also AMA, so please drop your question. Now, now the bonus thing I said I was going to share with you today. Some friends just joined join a quick summary. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Eddie Clean. So, yeah, today what we are talking about primarily, we're talking about the Microsoft AI Studio, which is a unified platform for you to build your AI, co-pilot, assistants in a secured, scalable, and also in a safe way, and adhering to all the AI best practices. So that's what we're doing. All we've done so far is to literally is just to create a hub, and also we've created a project, and we're just waiting for the project creation to be completed. And once the project creation is completed, we would go ahead and then try hands on a few things. But I was just trying to also share with, so we have two more things coming. So I was also sharing with you that um the bonus, right? And by the way, if you just joined, this is Demystify Tech with Sam. Today is Azure AI Studio. Also ask me anything about tech, and especially also the Microsoft ecosystem. And then I have a bonus tip for those that might be doing Coral Draw and stuff like that. So yes, so so the bonus tip I said I was going to share with you. Okay, so it's done. So let's go back to here. Okay, and then now you notice that almost all of a sudden the AI studio comes alive with a lot more options for us to take a look at. So this is the project. As you can see, if I have multiple projects, I can cycle through the project. I mean, start from the top here. So you can see that here I have a way to change or cycle through the project that I am working on, and then the model color, which you saw, the benchmark, the prompt. So you can see all the project playground. So if I want to build a chart, there's a chart for me to play with. The assistant, which is in preview, where you can build your own assistant. If you want to do images and compilations, you can do that. Then on this side, then we can see under tools, we have code, where you can actually, look at the underlining code for what you're working on. There's a tracing that allows you to, review your code that is being run, evaluation, fine tuning as well. Some of these things are not preview, but we'll take a look at them. Like I mentioned, today is just an overview. We'll be delving into each of these things in the subsequent episodes. So from the next Friday, we'll take each section, just like I did for app services. We broke it down every episode, doing something specific in app services. We're doing the same thing as well here. So we'll be picking the various parts of the Azure AI Studio and be working in it for the rest of the episode. And for those who know me, I'm a BA person, so it's Friday. Cheers. All right. Don't ask me any question about my BA. It's Friday. Please allow me. So, all right. Yeah. So that's basically the overview of it. I'm watching my time. I want to do, because we'll be delving into this, I'll just do something I'll just walk you through something really quick, and then I'll segue into the bonus thing I wanted to share. It's still under technology, but it's a satiric thing, please. It's a satiric thing, but I'm sure we're going to learn something from it. So, project overview. This is our project. We can create documentations. We have all that under control. Let's try the let's do chat, right? Or we can do the AI assistant. Now, if you have worked on anything Copilot and AI, what has been your challenge? Actually, let me see if I can do a poll right here. What experience do you have when it comes to AI and chatbot development? All right, let's see if we can answer this question as we move on. All right, so playground. We've not created any deployment yet, right, to be able to test it. So the steps is you have to pick a module, build some stuff about the module, and you can use the playground to chat or to create assistance on the module, right? So let's see. Let's go for GPT-4. All right, and you see this is the module. I haven't deployed it. So I picked GPT-4, right? GPT-4 0. And this task is for chat completion and generative stuff. So I can, if I deploy this, then this gives my project access to the GPT-4 model, right? Where I can build either do chat conversations around it, or build my whole AI assistant on top of this model. All right. So let's go ahead and I'll just deploy this. And then it's going to generate its own connections, load and build that for me. And then once that is deployed, I can go to the chat playground, and then, okay, so there we go. Tokens per minute rate. Yeah, that's fine. I'll leave it to the system. Content filtering, we'll leave it to the default and build it, right? So this is the model. This is the version I'm using, 2024. Deployment type, I'm doing a standard deployment. So, and pretty much in terms of pricing and availability within and I'll talk more about this in next week, but I'll keep to the standard one. And it's just a connection string that is created for my OpenAI services that allows me to use them. And now we'll just, tokens now. So tokens per minute to rate limit threshold. Let me explain this. Now, anytime you type something into the prompt for an AI, right? That said, those things you enter are classified as tokens. Well, that's how, so the engine tokenizes it and be able to do its GPT things or AI things, let's put it that way. So here we are limiting it to say that per minute you can't go beyond 10,000 tokens within a minute, just to keep it under. It's more or less to prevent to prevent misuse of stuff. So let's go ahead and deploy it. Now, with this model deployed, now we can go into our chat and start playing around with it, right? As you can see, so this is deployed now, and I can go to Open Playground, which brings us to the chat, as you can see here, and then I can start interacting with this. So technically, I have my own custom AI, which is built on top of the GPT-0 model, right? So if I wanted to use Llama, it's the same thing. I'll go and pick the model, deploy. If I also have my custom model, I can interact with it by API. So I could have deployed my custom, whether it's a large language or small language model, I can deploy it somewhere and then, call it as an API from it. So like I said, we're going to do a whole series on this whole AI thing on Azure ecosystem. So if it's something that you feel is of importance or something you want to see more of, interact with me on any of my socials, and then we can get that rolling. So let's try. So you see, as of now, let me just walk you through this. So here, I can export this and use on my edge. I can view the code. I can look at the prompt flow. I can deploy it to a web application. And then now that becomes a service that I can create a mobile application that can call it, right? I can also go ahead and do prompt samples for it to show me the prompt sample. Now, you can also add your own data onto it, and this is the interesting part, right? I can add my own data as part of the model, so that on top of GPT-4 0, which is the model we're using now, I can add, if I had, let's say, my company specific data, which is not exposed to GPT-0, but you are using GPT-0 as a base module and you are adding your own learnings to it. So let's say, for instance, I think he's called Azuri, the guy who, Ghana NLP, the guy who has done the the model for most of the local languages. So we can add this on top of GPT-4 and then export this as a service that can be used, right? We can talk about more of these things later on. So even without doing anything, right? So this is a system, you an AI assistant that helps people find information. Now, I've not added any data yet, right? So like I said, it's something we'll be talking about. I can connect to a data source that is and that's what we call grounding, right? You connect it to a data source that will fine tune the information. So it's not just spitting, the AI is not just spitting any data, right? It's just spitting data based on information that it knows. So let's just stick to for now, for today's episode is just an overview. We'll delve into it. If you want to join, just put it on your calendar every Friday. actually 8 p.m. I started late today because I just wanted to test something personally. Okay, so there is a question here. What is Eliklim saying? So Eliklim says that Eliklim says personally the token length was my issue. If you put say 50 characters but the response is 200 characters, it doesn't help in the same in. Is there a way around that? Yeah, so Eliklim, that's why I mentioned that, you know, when we were setting it, this was up to 10,000 tokens. It was up to 10,000 tokens. So you have up to 10,000 tokens to put in for it to work, which you might synonymously or sometimes say characters, but they're called tokens. So every model, or depending on how you build your system, you can restrict the number of tokens, and that is actually it's a flavor or a spice on how you want to do it. So the workaround will be when you are deploying your model, you can actually increase your token. So in this case, we're doing 10,000 tokens. Instead of 10,000 tokens, you can do, you can see. So if you look closely here, let me show you something right here. So you look at this prompt now. If you look at this prompt, it tells me I have 128,000. Right, I have it to be sent. Right, that's the max I can do. So it depends on how you deploy your. Oh, sorry, you didn't see that because I was sharing. Sorry, let me show you this. Let me know if you can see this. Let me. Yeah, there you go. And then let me shift myself to the side so you can see. So you can see that it's 428,000 tokens, right? So you can that'll be your workaround for it. So you can literally just change that. Okay. There seem to be some adjustment I need to do to my in picture. It's running away. All right, so let's go here. Welcome, Eliklim. So I'm going to, and right now, even from just, I've not even done anything, right? Just deploying the module, which is just the base GPT-4. So if I say that as an African storyteller, write me a touching poem about the African slave trade. Fingers crossed. This is just the model in its bare form. I haven't added any data to it. I haven't added anything to it. It's just it's just it in its bare form. So send it. We're waiting for it. And this is just testing the model just as we've deployed it. We've not done anything to it. We've not grounded it with any of our custom data. It's just picking GPT-4 and building our own, AI, which we can deploy into something else. So this now, and please, I'm not delving into prompt engineering, but if you follow me closely, you'll notice that I'm doing some things in prompt engineering that gives you better results. All right. So if you realize my prompt, I said what? As an African storyteller, I'm gradually giving a persona to this AI in terms of what I wanted to give me. Write a touching poem. What was the output, right, about the African slave trade? So that there's more context to what I want. And let's listen to what it says. It says that in the heart of Africa, where the sun kissed the land, where rivers whispered secrets and mountains proudly stand, there thrived a people with spirits unchained in villages of harmony where freedom reigned. But shadows crept upon these shores with chains and iron bars, men with hearts of darkness, guided by distant stars. They tore through the fabric of life with greed, cruel hand, turning dreams to nightmares in this once sacred land. Mothers wailed in sorrow, their tears a river wide. Fathers' silent agony their dignity denied, children's laughter silenced as hope began to fade. In the heart of Africa, the price of greed was paid. On ships of sorrow, across the treacherous sea, bound by chains of iron, yearning to be free, they sailed to the distant lands where the sun was cold and strange. Their spirits broken, their lives forever changed. Yet in the darkest night, a flicker of hope remained, for the spirit of Africa, though battered with unchained, in songs whispered softly, in stories passed along, in the rhythm of the heartbeat, in the courage to be strong. Generations bore the scars of history's cruel embrace, yet from the depths of suffering rose the resilient grace. For the spirit of Africa, though shackled, never died. It soared above the pain with undiminished pride. In every whisper prayer, in every tear-stricken face, lives the story of the people and their undenying grace. For though the chains were heavy, the journey long and wide, the spirit of Africa in freedom shall abide. This, ladies and gentlemen, was just generated by an AI. If I say what will you title this poem? And again, this is just GPT 4.0 in its barest form. I picked the model, deployed it as a project, and I'm trying to build my own AI. So it says that I will title this poem Unchained Spirit, the Heart of Africa. So with just a few steps, I've created an AI that I can tailor to be a storyteller, right? So in this case, if I'm trying to create a storytelling AI, I will go ahead and then add in this space here, add my own data, which is specific to probably stories I have written, or just to ground it more, to give it the kind of result. But as you can see, out of the box, we've created a simple bot that's able to respond to our needs. I like this one very much. I'm going to actually pick this up and frame it. It's a very touching story. Now, so what can we do with this? Hypothetically, this is done. I can go ahead and say, hey, export it as a JSON file, which I can deploy, or you can use a Prompty file, or let me see the code. And there you go. See the endpoint and see the code. So look at the code. So this is the code that did the connection for me to be used if I want to do integration with this prompt in another application. I can also look at the prompt flow. Let's open this. It's going to create a prompt flow for my AI, and then I can leverage this to understand and fine tune it. And the other option that I said is I can go ahead and use and deploy this model or this AI. I can deploy it to an app service, expose it as an API, and then I can have like a mobile application or a digital assistant or something just call into it. Or I could create a humanoid, right? I could create a humanoid and call it the storyteller, like the way we have an Ansesem. So I could ground it with a lot more local folktale stories, and then, expose as an API and put it in a humanoid robot for exhibition. So you get to it and you can ask it to tell it a story. Tell me a story. And then it'll be able to tell you a story. Something is happening. I need to create a flow. Okay. I think there is, I know why that's happening. Wow. This is beautiful. We created this in less than 20 minutes. Yes, exactly. Yes. So in less than an hour, if you can create your own AI, right? Ground it with data if you already have existing data and export it for use. And that's how, and that's the emphasis I'm trying to let you understand. In today's world, many years ago, this would have been a very difficult feat. You needed to understand, AI, machine learning modules, all these crazy things. But thanks to tools like the Microsoft AI Studio, right, we being able to create our own AI in less than 30 minutes, right? And if it's not for the fact that I'm trying to explain all these moving parts when we are going, I could have probably done it in just like in 15 minutes or even 10 minutes. And I have an AI, export it, and then send it off to the next team that is building any form of interaction or AI for them to leverage it, right? So that's the importance of technology and where we are going. Now the use cases, numerous, a lot, plenty. I can I can't underplay this. I mean, I just gave you a very simple use case of an AI storyteller, an African storyteller. It can start just as a conversational board, but then it can move into being, one that can, talk to you, for lack of better words. So yeah, so Eddie Klim, yes, that's interesting. Yeah, and don't forget today's episode is also ask me anything. So if you have questions pertaining to either what we're doing right now or um either what we're doing right now or just how do I put it? Just the stuff I'm doing, that's fine. I will try to answer it. Our flow is creating, but there was an error. Let's see the permissions, authorized form operations using the permission. Please grant workspace registry to the storage account. Oh, okay. I would have to, don't worry, I won't go too much into this. I'll probably try to fix this in the next session. Let me try to close this. I did the same thing with GPT-3 and Python. It took a month. It says I did the same thing with GPT-3. It took a month. Oh, sorry about that, Teleclean. So sorry. Yes. So sorry about that. Let's see. So, oh, I didn't. Yeah, I cleared that whole thing. I shouldn't have done that. Anyways, I can start situating. So, with let's see. No, I won't talk about this today. I'll talk about the voice in a subsequent one. So let me do something else. Tell me an African proverb and explain it to me like a 5-year-old. So let's try this because I want to show you something on the side. All right, so it says, sure, here's an African proverb. It takes a village to raise a child, right? Which is, I'm sure most of us know this. Imagine you have a big pizza, and this is how it's explaining it to like a 5-year-old. It says that imagine you have a big pizza. Now, if you try to put it together all by yourself, it might take a really long time. And a big puzzle. Now, really long time, and you might get tired. But if all your friends, family, and neighbors help you, the puzzle gets done much faster. It's more fun. This proverb means that to help a child grow up happy and strong, lots of people need to work together. Just like putting together a big puzzle, everybody helps out, like parents, teachers, friends, so on, and we can learn and feel love. So this is a very simple layer. Now, like I said, I can view the code. So here you can see, and if you look closely on this side, you can actually pick what language. Currently, it's set to Python, so it's going to give you a Python code. So at the moment, you can see it in C# or just plain JSON. So 2 languages supported as of now. Then we tried a prompt flow, and it just was, I needed to set permissions because I didn't plan to get this far today. And then you can do the deploy to web app, right? So here, I would need to create a web app, somewhere with the specifications, and we'll do this as part of a series. And then I'll deploy this model in that web app, and I can expose that web app either as an API or whatever that is, and people can use. Now here, I can create some prompt samples, right? These are just samples that I can use. Shakespearean writing assistant. So you see, this thing is for chat completeness, but then it gives you stuff. It tries to create a personality like a Shakespeare kind of personality, right? So that is how you can leverage us from the chat perspective. So with a deployed model, I can go ahead and let's see the assistant. Let's see if we can create a connection to your. Our connection is loaded, and then in the same way, so I can call it. Let's call this Mami do kono. Okay, for those of you who don't know who Mami Dokuno is, Mami Dokuno was or is, she's still alive, sorry, is a woman who actually helped when, well, I would say help, but when most of us were growing our childhood, she had a program on television called By the Fireside. I think Mrs. Dia, may her soul rest in peace, also did some part of it. I think at some point to Gamali Todro also did it. He's still alive. Thank you so much. They made our childhood quite fun, and they would tell folklore that was reenacted by students. And then here I can give it an instructions and say, you are an African storyteller who is wise and very knowledgeable in African stories, proverbs, and folklore. I hope I spelled it right. Right? All right. And I could add, functions or assistive tools, other things you can do to it. But for now, I'll just save this just to make sure we are not, missing anything. And then if I add the function to say that some of the custom functions that it can perform aside, just being a conversational or completeness bot. So let's say this is an example, and here you can add your own functions to it. Today we are giving high level, so please don't feel that I'm just rushing through things. I'm just trying to give examples, right? And then let's save this. Cool. All right, so then this is for the assistant type, right? So you can the same way you can deploy this, and this becomes like an assistant you can talk to, you can interact with, and you can see here all the logs for the actions that are happening. All right, so today I'm going to pause here on the introduction to the Azure AI Studio. It's just as a teaser. If you want to see more of this, you need to join us next week. We are 54 minutes. It's just about 6 minutes to go. I wanted to share. Do we have the time to do this? I wanted to share something really, really quick. Okay, let's see. I can do this, but I hope you got some interest in this, and then this made sense that you want to do more of it. So if this sounds like something you want to do, don't forget to stick around and come with us. As we do this now. 5 minutes. I'll try to see if I can do this. I can do this 5 minutes. So a couple of days or weeks ago, there was this thing in the news that I want to do more cry. Yes, Eliklim. Yes, and I always encourage you to keep. I always encourage you to practice a lot. When you learn some of these things, to practice a lot, because the more you practice, the more you understand and appreciate these things. So a couple of weeks or days ago, our electoral commissioner came out to say that they were using Corel Draw for the graphs. I'm not feeling too well. I'm not going to answer that. But today I want to show something you can do with Corel Draw, right? So for all of you who use Corel Draw, I'm going to show you something real quick that you can do in Corel Draw, which is pertaining to data, right? And because today is Demystify Tech, I want to show this as well. So I'm going to open Excel. I'm going to do a blank Excel stuff. Let me go to the desktop, and I'm going to open a blank Excel sheet, right? And I'll probably say, let's do first name. I'm basically just creating a simple table, right? Let's do last name. I know, right? This matter, don't worry. I know I'm not trying to cause any problems. I just want to show something you can do with it. And then I'll probably do let's do course, right? Or let's do program. And then I'll just say Samuel journey, and I'll say IoT, and I'll say let's do early clean. Let's do so early clean, NYAHE, and then let's say yours is AI. And who else? Let's say let's do Ghana, and his is software development. All right. And then let's say we'll do Kofi Mensa, and that one will be let's say mechanical engineering. All right, so let's say I have a data set, and I'll try to give you the scenario for what I'm trying to do. Now, in most cases, if you've done or used any, especially we're sticking with CorelDRAW, and you are given the need to develop something, or let's say a certificate or an ID card or something where you need to inject data, right? Under normal circumstance, most thing you will do is that you design the thing, and then you would you design it, and let me just show you this, right? Let's go ahead and let's open CorelDRAW. Please, my CorelDRAW is not cracked. My CorelDRAW is adequately licensed and purchased. So for those of you who been looking at me as if it's not, let's let's bring it here. It went onto my other let's take here. All right, so this is it. This is our CorelDRAW. So let's create a new project. It's going to be A4. I'm making landscape, something very simple. And let's say I'm supposed to do, let's say, certificate of completion. And then we'll do this, and let me try Mr. L. There you go. So let's say this is our certificate, and please, this is not a free CorelDRAW advert. I know, right? I'm doing free. This is not to teach you graphic designing or whatever you might say. Please, I'm just trying to share knowledge. All right. So I won't spend time on this. I'll probably say 10, and this will be the color, and then I'll duplicate this, and I'll say you don't have any, and then it'll be white. So this is like certificate of completion, something very simple. And then we'll say awarded to, some of you get certificate of completion tomorrow for finishing your IoT certification program. Awarded to, so this is going to be the person we are awarding the certificate to. So here we put it here, and then you might see something like this. This is where the person's name will come, here, and then you see something else like this, and then they'll say that having successfully completed all required modules and exams. Okay, so let's say exams at the Institute of Institute of let's say education. All right, having successfully complete all required modules and exams and education in the unlisted program, right? And let's make this centered. please, like I said, this is not a design lesson. I just want to show you something. And then here, they'll probably you probably have something here. So another one, which will be the program that the person did, and this would be like, this is where you put the person's name, right? And then under it here, you probably have, all the things that you put there. So Miss Anna, please come online. I think Arnold is online. So for the name, let me say Samuel Adrani, and I believe I want to use, no, impact is not nice. Let me use this bold, and then put it here, and then I will make another one here, but this time we can reduce this, and I can say this one is Internet of Things. All right. Now, so this is the situation. When you imagine you have this, okay, and then you need to give the certificate to 100 people, right, or 1,000 people. Now, what I'm going to show you is just a simple text. You can actually even do images that would auto pick and stuff like that, but I'll show you text today. This is not a CorelDRAW lesson. Now, so assuming you have 100 people, most times what people will do is that, what I've seen people do in the past is they'll copy this, create another page, and then come here, and then they'll do like Kofi Mensa, and then come and change something. A whole lot of, no, don't do this. This is where you can leverage the data capabilities of CorelDRAW, the integration capabilities of CorelDRAW. Please, I didn't say use it to collate data, I beg. I didn't say that. So this is where you can leverage CorelDRAW to do that. So what's the requirement? So here you realize that I've started creating, let's do Internet of Things. Let's see, artificial. Oh, what did I do? Artificial intelligence, right? If it's not spelled right, don't worry. So now what you need to do is, once you have your list, right? So let's go ahead and save as. I'll put it on my machine somewhere that I can pick it. Go to download. I'll say set list, and I'll just go ahead and do a very simple CSV, comma delete, just a CSV file, set list, and I'll save this. Okay, so I have that file. Let's close it. Now you come into CorelDRAW, and then so we'll go all the way here, and should I or should I not? You will be careful. Oh. I said that I am only showing this because I feel it's technology. I just want to show you how to do this thing. All right. So let's go to File, and then you go to Print Merge right here. This is it, right? So you go to File, and then you go to Print Merge, and then you can see Create or Load Print Merge, right? So let's go File, Print Merge, and then Create Print Merge. Now, this is going to allow you to bring in that data set. So I'll say Import File, and I know where I saved my file. I'm using CSV files, and you can see my set list, and I open it, and you see that it's loaded. It's seeing the first name, last name, program, and loaded all these things, right? So I can either configure the columns. If it's a picture, I can do that, but right now we're just using, so I just say finish. Now this brings out the print merge side. So you can see that I want this part, I want to bind the first name to this text. So I'll just say insert selected. Oh, sorry. Let me just delete this. Oh, my version doesn't have the bind. Don't worry. I'll just change it. So I'll just go ahead and insert the field. and then again I'll center it, and here you can just change it, do it. So this is what we're using, calibre 40 or 50. So I'll just go ahead and say, hey, this is calibre 50. All right.